What's up, everyone? This is Goldilocks, former TNA backstage interviewer, manager, and you're listening to TNA Cross the Line podcast. Thanks for being here.
TNA Wrestling, Cross the Line.
And we're back with episode 194 of the TNA Cross the Line podcast. I am Colling Jr. With me, as always, is Dallas Gridley. And Dallas, this is the go-home show before Bound for Glory 2005, where young upstart Kevin Nash is going to be challenging for the NWA World title, currently held by Jeff Jarrett. Can the young wonder, Kevin Nash, who's only been in the wrestling business for about 15 years, can he win his first NWA World Championship in 24 hours? We'll find out. But first, here on the Go Home Show, we have two matches that are confirmed. Actually, three. We have Samoa Joe's Spike TV debut. And we have a NWA World Tag Team Championship match where the rivalry between the Naturals and America's Most Wanted will be continuing tonight in the first ever title match in the Spike TV era. And then our main event is not going to feature Kevin Nash. No, because he's a young upstart. We got to hold this moment for Bound for Glory, even though he technically had a shot back in February against the odds, but it doesn't matter. AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, and Lance Hoyt is taking on the NWA World Champion Jeff Jarrett, the Monster Abyss, and the Alpha Male Monty Brown, all here today. Plus, much more. So, Dallas, is this bringing an adrenaline rush on your slamming Saturday night?
It always does, Bob. It always does. This is a freaking stack show, and I cannot freaking wait to watch it.
I'm honestly
more than that,
shocked that it's this loaded on a go-home show. Go-home shows, I feel like, are more angle-driven, and this seems like it's like, oh, we'll just give you all matches.
Yeah, that's the very interesting point. They've been doing really well sprinkling in, like, the angles, like, segments and stuff like that the last few weeks, so maybe we just got lucky that they somehow figured out how to put together a decent 45-minute show, and now we're getting some good matches. I do feel like they are kind of notorious for having, like, okay go-home shows to this point for these pay-per-views. Like, I feel like most of the time we're like, it wasn't bad, but, like, it didn't get us more excited necessarily.
Yeah.
But that being said, Bound for Glory, the first one, 3.5-hour show. We're dropping the episode tomorrow, so that's two bangers right in a row.
Yeah, now, of course, the 3.5 hour, the half hours, essentially the free pre-show.
Nope. It is part of the pay-per-view for free. That's what they're saying. So it's a 3.5 hour. It's the longest Impact pay-per-view.
Yeah, but then technically every pay-per-view they have is 3.5 hours long.
Nope. Those are pre-game shows.
Oh.
That don't count. That does not count.
Pre-show. If it cuts off, if I'm watching the show and it cuts off after a half hour,
I really want it to be the AJ Daniels Iron Man match, and you have to buy the pay-per-view and you have to watch the end on pay-per-view. Dude, that would be fucking
That's
genius.
how I would do it. I would have it start 5 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
That way the final 5 minutes is like, oh shit. And it's like tied or 0-0-1-1, whatever. And now I what the fuck? How else am I gonna know who wins this?
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta pay $30, and then I got all these other matches of people. Like, come on,
Dude, that's like the smartest thing you could possibly do. I think. I just don't know why you would not do that.
I don't know. Because you know what? Anybody that's watching it has probably already bought the show.
I mean, that's a good point too.
To begin with, so it's not like you're gypping them out whatever.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing is because like these kind of pay-per-view shows, you'd have to go to the pay-per-view channel to watch like the free little preview. Whereas like I remember being a kid and being like, I'm gonna watch Sunday Night Heat and then be sad that I cannot buy the WWE pay-per-view after.
Oh God, that happened to me all the time.
Like my
I'd
favorite.
be like, oh my God, there's a 6-man Hell in a Cell match. Oh man, fuck, I can't buy this. Oh man.
I think I used to watch it to see the stages, and then I remember, I think I've said it on here, is like when they debuted the Elimination Chamber, I was like, I want to see it, and they didn't show it.
They
dude.
did not. They fucking hid that shit.
Yeah, they did not show you the Elimination
Chamber. I remember that one
because I purposely watched the Sunday Night Heat because I wanted to see the Elimination Chamber because I wasn't watching the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and I got screwed.
I did the same thing. Yeah, no, the pre-show to be like Sunday Night Heat that you're talking about. I would always see what the stage looked like, and then as the hour went by, I'd get more progressively upset that I wasn't able to watch the actual pay-per-view. But I'd be able to see a Steven Richards match.
Yeah,
on the show.
Sure were.
Against like D'Lo Brown or something, and then
yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Well, they weren't going to do like Undertaker, Hulk Hogan on Sunday Night Heat.
They could have, but whatever.
Buy the rest of the show.
Yeah, buy the rest. Well, before we get into this week's show, let's talk very briefly about last week. I got some decent notes, including about the skit that we saw, the funeral.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be talking pretty in depth about that, actually. And we got a few other notes before we get into the show, and then we'll talk about some other stuff during the show. So we got lots of fun stuff. So let's run down the card quick from the October 15th, 2005 edition of Impact on Spike TV, not on the internet. It was first up. Monty Brown defeated the team of Jarrett Clark and Mikey Batts in 45 seconds in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Matt Bentley with Tracy defeated David Young with Simon Diamond in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Rhino defeated Sabu in 3 minutes 45 seconds, and then there was a big brawl with everyone who's in the Monsters Ball match. And then finally in the main event, a 15-minute Iron Man Challenge Gauntlet took place where, well, I think he won. But Christopher Daniels, he defeated Shark Boy first, then he defeated Sanjay Dutt, and technically the time ran out when he went to fight AJ Styles at the end, who was wrestling in a muscle shirt and jeans.
Yeah, so like I don't know if it was you had to defeat them all or just survive it all.
So Cage Match is listing it as a time limit draw. I don't know what they really consider it because I have a feeling it was like he was supposed to beat him, so then technically it is a time limit draw. But I was pretty convinced yesterday it was like I say yesterday, last week, which by the way, we didn't even record yesterday, so I don't know why I just said that. But I'm convinced that I was pretty convinced that he just had to survive, but he did.
I'm pretty sure it was just survive.
Either way,
because like I would have
won in my heart, man.
I feel like we would have remembered if Daniels was like, "Oh, AJ, you picked 3 guys and I can beat them all in 15 minutes." I mean, I guess that would make sense for the Iron Man gimmick.
He might have. I can't remember, and I didn't look back on the promo, but
yeah, I mean, it would make sense for the gimmick match if he was like, I can beat all 3 guys in 15 minutes, because that's what you have to do in Iron Man. You have to beat them. No, you don't want to get a draw. So.
Right. I mean, the only way that there's a way to find this out is if we go over to WrestlingRecaps.com and we look up the October 8th, 2005 edition of the show.
I don't think I reviewed that show. So.
Okay, well then I can't knock it too much because that means if it's not in here, then you didn't do it. Oh, Daniels right here. Okay. To prove he's an Iron Man next week and Impact, AJ can pick any 3 X Division guys he wants, and he will beat them in less than 15 minutes.
Oh, there you go. See? And that's why you go to WrestlingRecaps.com for all of your technicality needs.
I go on there more often than I would like to admit to my friend Bob when I am doing our social posts.
Really?
I do all the time to reference interviews.
Thanks, man.
So, and you can follow us on social at Cross the Line TNA if you want to see all those posts over on our Twitter page. But anyways, okay, let's get into some observer notes about last week's show, including what Dave says was the highlight of the show, which he just says is the skit. The skit. He says, as great as I was told this was, it was that much better. So he like really likes this.
I think it was very good.
Yeah. It started with a guest book with names in this order: Kevin Dunn, Paul and Stephanie, Vince and Linda, Pat and Sylvan, and Bobby Roode. And even Dave notes that the Pat and Sylvan one he did not see coming and really threw him off. And
Who's the Sylvain Grenet, right?
it's got to be Sylvan Grande.
But who's the Pat?
It's got to be Pat Patterson.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. See, I knew the Pat right away. At first, I was like, Sylvan.
Well, I knew Sylvain
See?
having heat with them.
So, there you go.
Okay.
Um,
And oh my God, because I remember like the rumor was that Sylvain and Pat were like a thing, wasn't it?
that must be. See, I
Pat, or like Sylvain was like a favorite of Pat's.
I couldn't remember, and I tried looking it up, and I wasn't coming into any good luck when I was trying. But it's got to be that, yeah. So, needless to say, they attended the funeral together.
That is a fucking okay. If there was a legitimate war, like that's a good shot.
It's a pretty funny one.
That's good.
So Jim Mitchell was giving the eulogy with Gail Kim in a low-cut dress crying, and at other times blowing bubblegum and filing her nails. Scott D'Amore was munching on hot dogs and Coke. James Storm was pounding down beers and saying that he had to go to the bathroom. And the rest of the Canadians had hockey sticks and pounded them on the ground doing chants. And so he goes on to say here, how Mitchell has never done more or gotten more chances in the business with his look and delivery is beyond me. He notes how Chris Harris and James Storm came out during this to talk about how they had to get rid of them because they jumped on board and tried to take the glory from the people who built the company. They're talking about why they essentially took down Team 3D, of course. They showed a photo of Devon all bloody. They put a T-shirt on the casket, and Harris put a sign with the T-shirt marked down to $7.99. Dave says that the killer line in all this was Storm saying, "I hear dead people," and saying that he's hearing Brother Way's voice from the grave saying, "Devon, get the..." And Jarrett jumped in, interrupted, and said, "James, this is a funeral. Their careers are already dead. They don't need another lawsuit." And we talked a lot about the notes in the lawsuits that they were getting coming up to this. So it's pretty good insider shit there. And everyone laughed. So Storm then at the end was he's pissing in the coffin, and Harris had to go grab him when they left. They all vowed to get together for another funeral the day after Bound for Glory for Kevin Nash. Dave says it's one of those segments that going in you would expect it to be stupid because 95% of the time when wrestling does crap like this, it is that. But this was the exception. Anyways, the people involved deserve credit for their performance, but whomever wrote the lawsuit line and the Pat and Sylvan line was just too much. I think I got a kick out of it because all that stuff means nothing to the average person and doesn't mean a dime. But with Spike TV not wanting them to insult WWE, they got some great digs and doing it so subtly that it snuck through. So they were sneaking little things in there. So here's where all the credit goes. So this is kind of fun. This is like the little behind the scenes part. And by the way, if you have not seen the Team 3D funeral, go look that shit up on YouTube. It was incredible. And it was just as good as I remembered it, if not better.
Yeah, I always thought it was further along.
Yeah, so did I.
I'm surprised it's so early.
So the writing for this was largely Mike Tenay, Bill Banks, and Dutch Mantel. The line about the lawsuit may have been Jeff Jarrett himself coming up with it. The amazing thing is the entire vignette was shot at a cost of less than $1,000, but it was done just with Jeremy Borash's camera. No lighting guy, no sound guy, a one-camera shoot, and edited by Borash and Jesse Ward, who is the Tough Enough 2 contestant who worked a few years in WWE backstage production. Most of the show that we saw last week was a strong build for the pay-per-view. And now he kind of goes into the Daniels Iron Man match. He says, very good. Was in with Dutt, who picked up all sorts of stuff, was connecting with the crowd, and he thinks should start getting a push. When Styles came in as the third guy, so he completely ignores Shark Boy in this right up, going the time limit. The climax was to hit Daniels with a springboard spot, but he slipped off of the ropes and fell on his face at the bell. And the nature of when he did it made it impossible to edit it out. And it's interesting because Bob, you said he slipped, like he literally just messed it up. And I literally thought it was meant to be that way.
So it was a botch.
According to Dave Meltzer. I feel like I got to rewatch it to confirm because like it was too perfectly timed to me. But I guess maybe that's the thing. Maybe he was supposed to get hit and then he couldn't like escape and essentially win the time limit thing because then he was down. But instead, AJ missed and then Daniels just kind of ran away.
Well, and I think that they would be able to play it off as like a legitimate slip or whatever because he's not in his gear.
Exactly.
Like he's not in his
the thing
boots
is,
and everything like that.
I like stuff like that. They've done it with Styles before. They do it all the time with Jeff Hardy, dude. Even today. Jeff Hardy goes for the whisper in the wind. Oh my God, his leg. And then everyone's like, he shouldn't be wrestling. And it's like so clearly like that's a spot he does. So I like stuff like that. But if it was truly a botch and he could have got fucked up, that's not as good. But
yeah.
The other interesting note about the show is something that we did not see because we aren't watching with commercials. And you're probably wondering, what the fuck am I talking about? Well, Dave says that the other big story on the show was the Morphoplex commercial, being that it apparently aired 3 times during the show. Now, if you're wondering what the fuck is Morphoplex, it is a sponsor of TNA. It is on one of the ring skirts. And, of course, as I'm about to say in a minute, Zbyszko is one of the spokespeople. But he says it has to be the cheesiest commercial ever. And in fact, it came across like a Saturday Night Live spoof of a commercial with 2 ex-football players you've never heard of saying how they lost so much weight and using Commissioner Zbyszko as the pitchman. It makes those horrible smiling Bob ads for the erectile dysfunction on Raw look like a Super Bowl commercial.
I know exactly what he's talking
about. I know,
about.
dude. Do you remember seeing those all the time?
Yeah, if you would just do the wave, like...
Yeah, they're so fucking mad.
Stupid.
But apparently this made that look like a Super Bowl commercial. So he says it was such a professional-looking show with great video packages, making Styles look like a star, hyping up Samoa Joe versus Jushin Liger to seem like a special match. He says although they needed some kind of commercial that ran down the entire card, but that Morphoplex commercial just left everything with a minor league taint when it ran over and over. Now, of course, they can't control this, but I see what he's getting at here. Now, he says, still, the final line is classic, with Tracy Brooks in the commercial saying, quote, I lost 5 pounds in 6 days, and I can barely keep my pants on. And Dave also notes that Morphoplex is a sponsor of Wrestling Observer Live in the interest of full disclosure. And so he says, not to mention alerting them that the host of a show that they are sponsoring is now publicly ripping on their ad and getting me heat with my bosses. So I think that was pretty funny. But
wait, so Morphoplex like
also,
buys sponsorship?
Yeah, for a Wrestling Observer, and he's talking shit about the ad.
Oh my God, that's funny as shit. Well, you know what? At least he's keeping his honesty as a journalist.
Right.
You know, he's not saying it was a great commercial. Oh, by the way, it works for me too, or something.
I know. So, yeah. Do you like that line? I can barely keep my pants on.
What do you expect, man? I mean, especially during like a TNA show, I think of course that's going to be something that is said.
Come on, what do you mean?
Just to get that slamming Saturday night crowd be like, ooh, Tracy can't keep her pants on. I wouldn't be fucking surprised if during one of these shows her pants fall down and then he's going to be like, it's because of that Morphoplex.
It's the Morphoplex. I just went to look for it and it looks like they took the video down. I'm going to find it.
Of the commercial?
Oh, wait, is this it?
Morphoplex massive! Morphoplex massive! Morphoplex massive! Morphoplex! Better than steroids! It's the dawning of a new era! And you can be bigger, faster, stronger, have more size...
It's not the same one.
...and have more power with Morphoplex massive and no side effects. Look like a god of our new era. Check us out, morphoplex.com. Morphoplex massive, better than steroids.
Okay, better than steroids.
How many times did he say Morphoplex massive? Really driving home the massive.
I don't know. Anyways, if I can find, I'd like to find the one with Tracy in it. I mean, there's other ones, but it doesn't look like there's like the one that we're looking for. But it doesn't matter. And we'll see what we can do. Anyways, I think that pretty much covers most of the notes about the actual show. But let's talk about some other things, including some ratings and stuff. And then during the show, we'll talk about some interview notes with plenty of people. So the October 15th Impact show did a 0.81 rating, but viewers per home were way down, apparently. The show averaged 841,000 viewers, which is 1.15 per home, which would be the lowest of the 3 shows to date. The decline of 15% in total viewers from the prior week was blamed on going against baseball playoffs. ESPN's college football and NASCAR, and the show's decline was all in its core males 18 to 49 age group, which is down to 0.7, and 18 to 34, which is at 0.8. In other demos, the show had the same number of viewers or was up. So even though UFC and Impact are closing the gap in ratings, all because UFC is falling, in the key demos, UFC is still more than doubles what TNA is doing.
I don't know if I buy the baseball playoff thing, because I mean Impact is airing at 11 o'clock on a Saturday. It is baseball playoff season, probably even close to the World Series at this point. But those games are played at like 7 o'clock at night. And
I don't know.
Unless it was like extra innings, it'd be done by like 10:30.
I don't know, dude.
So I don't know how much I believe that. I mean, those games aren't getting started at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, I don't think they would be.
I mean, that's a pretty fair point, though.
Because like nowadays, they even play those games at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Which is, I mean, fairly newer. But even back then, I mean, I have never once, even a West Coast team, seen them play a playoff game at like 10 o'clock at night Eastern time, because it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's pretty.
From what I can remember, I think they're just grasping at straws for that.
Probably, but don't worry. The ratings, there's some good news, but we'll talk about that in just a second. So hang on tight. In other news about ratings, Doug Herzog, I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but he runs Spike. He sent an internal memo to the company executives touting the ratings for Impact and its potential, and used the phrase, quote, "Who misses WWE now?" It's also been noted, and this was credited directly to the UFC, that the network was up in both males 18 to 49 and overall 18 to 49 during the week of October 3rd to October 9th than it was the week before with Raw. Overall, primetime viewers were down 8%, but their key demos were up. TNA doesn't figure into this because it's primetime ratings, but the increase was attributed to UFC programming all week long. So who misses WWE now? Spike does. Okay. Based on the reaction of the ratings, Bob, you're going to love this. On November 3rd, the company is getting a prime time special from 9 to 11 p.m.
Oh.
Now, the plan here is to do a Clash of the Champions caliber show as opposed to a 2-hour Impact, with title matches and stip matches involving the major talent. It will be taped either, and I think he might have his dates wrong here. I think he means October 25th or October 26th, because he says September and we're past that. Now, originally, Spike had scheduled 2 parody MXC shows, a UFC versus Desperate Housewives, and a WWE versus UFC from 9 to 10 p.m., and then the regular TNA show from 10 to 11, followed by UFC Unleashed at 11 p.m. The special Thursday night showing is because the regular Impact show for November 5th is preempted due to the live UFC special from Las Vegas that night. So it's pretty fun stuff here.
I like that. I like the approach of it being like a Clash of Champions style type of special.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. It's on a special night.
Yeah, the only thing though, it could be a little too early. You might want to try to build an audience and then do that. But I mean, if it's from 9 to 11, I would expect more people to watch.
and it's on a Thursday.
Right. So let's keep this in our minds here. So November 3rd. If they're doing 0.8s, 0.9s, whatever. If you're doing a Clash of Champions style thing, which I'm assuming big matches, big stars,
Right.
stipulations, whatever, and is it 1 or 2 hours? Oh, 2 hours, 9 to
2
11.
hours. Yep, 2 hours.
So 2 hours, 9 to 11. I would hope that they're getting like a 1-3 or something. Like you got to get
Yeah, I'm thinking so too.
pretty good bump.
I think you have to.
Yeah, because like, if you don't, I mean that'd be kind of not great.
Yeah. Well, and other potential exciting show news, there is more than a decent chance that TNA will get a Monday night special in February because Raw is going to be preempted due to the Westminster Dog Show. So they might have a Monday night show in February.
It's like another Clash of Champions thing.
I feel like that would make sense, right?
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah. So lots of exciting news. They've also added a 10/26 taping to go along with the 10/25 taping. Now remember, they do 2 at a time kind of thing. So they have 4 hours to tape between 2 days because it's only 3 weeks between pay-per-views. Now you're wondering, okay, why do we need 2 dates then? Well, they were only going to do one and do a 3-hour taping on October 25th, with the shows airing between 10/28 and 11/12. With the 2-hour special being added, they had to add that second night so that they could do that 2-hour show. So normally we do once for 2 weeks, once for 2 weeks. They were going to do once for 3 weeks because it's only the 3 weeks for the pay-per-view. Yeah. But because there's that longer show, they had to add another one. So pretty interesting.
And I would think you would want a different crowd for that 2 hour.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. That's going to freshen that up for him. Yeah, hopefully. Okay, I have one final note before we get into today's show. And like I said, I have more we'll talk about during the show. But this is about Jimmy Hart. And Jimmy Hart decided that he's going to appear on Raw recently. And they didn't like that, which I get. But so Jimmy Hart was not fired, although he was taken off air as a talent, overdoing the October 3rd Raw show. So that's important to know because he is not fired. And we're going to get into why in just a second. But he says, given that they are talking with Sean Waltman, who was in Orlando last week, although the company did not want him at the building itself during the tapings, but he saw his friends in the company and was in good shape. And they do continue to use Jeff Hardy. It's kind of impossible to get fired, as Dave says, so you kind of can't. Hart is going to continue to work backstage at the grill position and helping round fans up for the taping. So he's still going to help out the company. Now, Hart told management that since he didn't have a contract, bing, 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 he felt that he was independent and he could be taking whatever he was offered. Jeff Jarrett offered him a contract, but he said that he wasn't going to break his existing commitments to WWE, which included, just this past weekend, Jimmy Hart and RVD did the media in Chicago to promote WrestleMania going on sale, like tickets. He also had other commitments with WWE, including hosting a Loudmouths Month on 24/7 and promoting various WWE action figures that involve him, that include the New Hart Foundation and Jimmy Hart and Hogan and Beefcake and Jimmy Hart sets. So for all you classic superstar fans, that's what they're talking about there. He tried to sell them that it was a benefit that he was on Raw because more people recognize him from that TV, and that helps TNA when he rounds people up when it goes to their tapings. The company that produces the new Jimmy Hart energy drink is also sponsoring TNA, which is why we saw a sign last week. Well, it's been there, but why I pointed out the sign last week. He was removed as an on-air talent and manager of the Naturals. So we'll see if he gets brought back, but Dave says it's anyone's guess at this point.
They haven't even really addressed that because we haven't seen the Naturals, really.
No, we have not. But don't expect to see Jimmy Hart tonight.
Right. So it'd be interesting to see if they even mention it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Are they even going to be are they just going to say they've been managed by, or what are they going to say? I don't know. I guess we're about to find out, though, aren't we?
Or are they so good that they no longer need ship of Jimmy Hart?
I mean, I kind of like that idea better because, I mean, I liked him with Candido too, but like, I don't think they needed Chris Candido.
I think Candido definitely helped them.
He helped him. Well, he helped him because of the promo stuff, but they don't
Yeah.
need like a manager for like matches to like win dirty. They're already heels. Well, they were.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And does Jimmy Hart really helping him with anything?
No, I don't. I'm not saying that they needed Jimmy Hart, but I think Candido
I like Candido with him.
was
It made
good.
I didn't like it at first because I was like, "What are we doing here?" But I warmed up to it.
Yeah, because you didn't know who Candido was. It was like
That's
that
not
Nikita
true.
Koloff thing. You're like, who's this guy?
Now everyone knows your bullshit about Nikita Koloff.
You were like, he looks like Body Donna Skip, but I'm not sure if it's the same guy. I have the text messages. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought he looked like freaking what's the other body down his name?
Zip. Skip and Zip.
I think he looked more like Zip.
Wow. How dare you talk about Tom?
And maybe Sunny. Oh wait,
God,
she's in jail and
she's gone for a while.
She poots or something. You know what they said. Anyway,
she tooted. She pooted.
Oh, pooted. Okay.
Poor Sunny.
Is it though?
No. For me, it is. I like to think of the healthy Sunny, the one that was doing like recreational cocaine, not like addicted to it.
And sucking off Shawn Michaels behind the curtain.
Yeah, and putting lipstick on his shoulder from behind in a mirror. It's in the book.
Which Bob he got scared. He didn't get in trouble. That he was writing summaries about, hey, guess what? She's in jail now, so she can't stop it. So I think you should bring that back.
Yeah, I'm good.
I like those. I was reading those when you were posting them because I'm never going to read the book. So I love those.
I know. That's why I was doing it. I was like, I doubt. And then I had people message me like they got the book because of I was doing that.
Yeah, I think that whoever scared you off was bullshit because, dude, it's just like Spark Notes. You were doing Spark Notes for Sonny's book.
Right.
So whoever scared you is bullshit.
Yeah. Well.
They're not a real friend, whoever that was.
No, it's just some guy on the internet. And then I got, my anxiety. I was just like, fuck it. It's not, I don't want to get in trouble over something stupid.
Bullshit. Anyway. I'm going to get in trouble in a second because I'm about to blow my freaking lid off on this 4th episode of Impact on Spike TV from October 22nd, 2005.
Is it the go-home show before Bound for Glory?
Is it the 11 p.m. airing? Is it the Monday at midnight airing? We don't know, but we got it.
That's true. We don't know. That's a really good point. I don't know. We don't know which.
I want to know why the logo changed in the corner after the first show.
Well, because didn't it blend in with the map?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I'm wondering if they didn't want to. They wanted it to be more like, oh, hey, it's Spike TV.
It could have been, but like, I feel like that doesn't really change from show to show on stuff. I like when TV channels have like a nice, it's like a see-through. If we really got to have it on there, that's not a thing anymore. Really,
it's really not because
it used to be a lot more.
Yeah, like nowadays it's really not even on there. Like I know NBC would sometimes do it, but then it would like fade away.
Although now that I say that, is this a wrestling thing? Because AEW definitely has the TNT logo and stuff in the corner.
Yes, they do.
Is this only a wrestling thing? USA's still at Raw. Huh. This is weird. This is kind of weird. Access on Impact. I was just watching Impact earlier.
Yeah. See, we're on to something.
It's a wrestling thing. This is a wrestling
Society X MTV.
Yeah, my favorite.
Yeah. So I don't know. All right, let's get into the go-home show, though, before Bound for Glory. It's the October 22nd, 2005 edition of Impact. The approximate runtime is 41 minutes and 56 seconds. And after this, it's time for the arguably biggest review of the year and one that was supposed to happen back in 2003 with Hulk Hogan and Jeff Jarrett, and it never happened. And now we're going to get Nash and Jarrett for the second time in TNA. Almost like the 4th time in general. But here we go. 3, 2, 1, play.
This is freaking TNA, the new face of professional freaking wrestling. Dude, oh yeah, this freaking intro is awesome. See, look, blue Monty Brown this week. And ready? Styles coming in blue. Yellow Daniels. See, they changed it from the first ones. I'm almost positive. I like it, so I don't care about it.
I think you might be right.
And then the fist punching. I mean, does that happen before?
I think
Oh,
so.
look at. Wait. Did you see that? Previously recorded. Has that said that before? Is that.
No, but.
Look at the logo in the corner. Dude.
Yeah. But are they saying that in the sense of like this was taped, it's not live?
Well, I'm wondering if we're watching the midnight one. That's what I'm wondering. But I do think you're onto something.
I think that's what they're saying.
Well, we're getting a shot of the Impact Zone. Double main event, dude. America's Most Wanted versus the Naturals. One of the arguably best tag team feuds in TNA history. Jarrett, Monty, Abyss versus Lance Hoyt, Jeff Hardy, and AJ Styles. And, of course, making his Spike TV debut, coming out right now, the Samoan Submission Machine, Samoa Joe. The undefeated Samoa Joe. That's how they're introducing him. And by the way, speaking of Samoa Joe, it is official that Jushin Liger is only appearing on the Bound for Glory show. He was originally booked to come to that taping on October 25th, but New Japan canceled due to wanting him back in Japan after the pay-per-view. So they're kind of doing a little power play right there.
Prime time. Elix Skipper. Now, let me tell you, Samoa Joe has a ridiculous amount of indie notes since the last time that we technically saw him.
Oh, that's a good point.
So I'm going to summarize this as best as I can and as quickly as I can. I'm going to focus on like key matches, and I'm not doing all this other bullshit.
There must be a lot then. If you don't want to read them, that means there's a lot.
Well, because some of them doesn't really matter. So back on September 24th, Samoa Joe was involved in the 2005 Survival of the Fittest, which Roderick Strong won. And it also involved Austin Aries, Christopher Daniels, Cole Cabana, and Jay Lethal in a match that went over 50 minutes.
Holy crap.
Then October 1st, and arguably, maybe even still, the biggest match of Samoa Joe's career. Samoa Joe lost to Kenta Kobashi at Joe versus Kobashi in New York City at the Grand Ballroom. The next night on October 2nd, Samoa Joe teamed up with Loki in a losing effort against Homicide and Kenta Kobashi. Samoa Joe is also part of the WSW tour, where he wrestled Andrew Testa-Martin 3 times, and he lost twice and winning once.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal in the Observer note I had about that whole thing. Because him losing that is, he doesn't on TNA TV, so it's kind of a big deal.
I'm sure it is. October 13th, Samoa Joe defeated Chris Hero at IWA Mid-South Morris Mayhem 2. October 14th, Joe teamed up with Jay Lethal to defeat Alex Shelley and Jimmy Rave at Enter the Dragon. October 15th, he lost to Nigel McGuinness in a Ring of Honor Pure title match in Buffalo, New York. And then here's the last one, NWA World Heavyweight Title 4-Way at a Fight Network launch party in Toronto, Canada. Jeff Jarrett defeated Rhino, Sabu, and Samoa Joe in a 4-way.
Wow. This match has been freaking hot so far, dude. Skipper and Joe have been doing some great kicks throughout the whole thing. Skipper has got the advantage at the moment, but look at this. He just jumped up. Oh, I thought Joe caught him in a cutter right there.
That's what I thought, too.
Beautiful springboard moonsault, but he took Joe down for a 2 count. I also have an Elix Skipper note here. On World Wrestling Radio, he admitted that he loved his WCW run more than he liked his current TNA run. He basically said that Dusty was the guy who took him off TV regularly, but that he'd be back to make an impact soon.
Oh, his head popped out of the muscle butt. Come on, Joe. That surprised me because his WCW run is like
not that
8
good.
months.
It's like fine.
Yeah, I mean, he was a cruiserweight champion and stuff, but it was very
The
short.
rear naked choke, the coquina clutch, and that is the submission win for Samoa Joe. And I have one more note. I had a lot for this match. It's just a trivia note about Samoa Joe in case you need some Samoa Joe trivia. And it's that when Joe went to high school, his football coach was the brother of Tank Abbott, and Abbott's father was a teacher at his school. He also trains regularly with Justin McCauley, an MMA fighter pro wrestler who is part of the Punishment Athletics, who is in Tito Ortiz's fighting team.
Hmm.
In case you need some weird Samoa Joe trivia. A little Christopher Daniels video here. He fancies himself as God's gift to wrestling.
I really hope he doesn't have that neck garb anymore.
Yeah, I don't really like that either, but I love these like interviews that are clearly like used on DVDs.
Yeah.
Like if you bought the best of a Christopher Daniels DVD, I guarantee you the interviews that they're showing the little clips here are on that DVD. And yes, I have it.
Is it opened?
That one might be.
Wow.
The best ofs I was more inclined to than when I started like mass buying the pay-per-views. Up next to the tag team title match. This is freaking nuts. Let's go. We have a weird TNA hype video here. The technically advanced six-sided ring. Oh, here we go, dude. Is 8 extra impact points in a 4-sided ring. 2 extra ring posts. More turnbuckles. They're hyping up the fact that we got a 6-sided ring here. There's so much more options. You can come from all different angles.
Yeah. Okay, so is this like a best of the X division type of interviews or something that they're?
There's
Right.
2 best of the X Division DVDs.
Oh,
So.
there we go.
So in the X Division DVD, if I throw that in right now, they're going to be like, yeah, so the 6-sided ring, really good for the X Division. Like, we can do whatever we want. And it's like those interviews.
There's 2 extra ring posts.
By the way, I haven't had numbers in a while, but the Impact Zone looks freaking packed, dude.
Oh man, it's that Team 3D effect.
I would argue you're probably right. Except they're not even on this taping, so.
No, it's okay. Yeah. Well, that's how you piss off your fans. So
well, we're about to get new champions, so.
What, the day before the pay-per-view?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are. I guarantee it. And I have not looked. I would be shocked if we don't.
Why would you do it the day before the pay-per-view?
Well, I think they should have done it on the pay-per-view, but.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if there's a title change, I mean, why are you doing it on TV?
Here come the Naturals with no manager. Okay, without giving me a big spoiler here, Bob, or me looking it up myself. Do we got some time left for the Naturals still? A little bit of time?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, they're here. I want to say through most of 06.
Look at this graphic. Okay, I was hoping so. NWA Tag Team Championship, huge new graphic. We finally switched that up. We haven't switched the championship graphics since we started. Naturals going after both of them. They threw them both to the floor here. Harris was second. Now he's going to launch Andy Douglas to the floor here. Boom.
Somersault dive off of a backdrop. Chase Stevens on the top rope. He's going to leap off here. And...
Oh my God, a shooting star press.
Oh my God. My heart just stopped for a second.
My God.
I thought he was just going to do a crossbody.
Look at this. Wow. That's freaking nuts.
That's insane. James Storm wanted a timeout. Smart. Oh, here's Gail Kim.
She's like, what are you guys doing? She's giving him some strategy. As we go to the commercial break here, Bob, I did forget to mention the next explosion match that we have coming up, which technically airs after the pay-per-view on October 28th, but it was taped after this last set of tapings, and it was Alex Shelley and Samoa Joe teaming up to defeat Austin Aries and Cassidy Riley.
Well, that sounds intriguing. That tag match.
Mm-hmm.
Largely for Cassidy Riley. Doing a raving gimmick.
Andy Douglas Irish whips James Storm, but it gets countered, and then Gail Kim grabs the leg. If Jimmy Hart was here, dude, he'd be getting on that microphone. Come on, baby.
Focus, baby, focus. Oh,
Title shot.
Douglas got drilled with a title shot. I wonder if he does a blade job.
Hmm.
Let's see.
He's yelling.
I'm going to say that he does because they're not putting the camera on him.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it.
How'd you know?
I just knew it, dude. That's how you hide it. Well, because half the time they don't hide it.
Well.
And you can see right there he got the blade out on the replay. What the fuck are we doing? Why would you do that?
Nowadays, dude, it's so bad nowadays. I feel like maybe we just look for it too much, but like.
Oh, no, I know I do. But on that replay, they fucking didn't cut away in time, and you can see him going in his wristband tape thing to get the fucking blade. Damn it.
3.5 hour event, guys, tomorrow, Bound for Glory. It's going to be a freaking banger.
30 minutes. Absolutely. Here comes Chase. Clean the house with right hands. Ducks a clothesline. Flying farm. The Harris. Another heel kick.
Nice.
Tip up, baby. Let's go. Heartbreak Kid. Pummeling James Storm with the right hands in the corner.
Oh, accidentally splashes his own partner.
Oh, nice. Death Valley Driver. 1, 2. No, Storm with the save.
We're only 12 minutes and 25 seconds into the show, and the crowd's on fire. We have a tag team title match that's going pretty good right now. Going for the heart attack, but it is stopped by Andy Douglas.
And Skipper Joe was a good, quick sprint of a match.
Alabama Slam.
How do you like me now? Oh,
my
he
God.
just got drilled with oh my. Is that it?
Holy crap, dude.
Oh, Stevens kicks out. Oh, I thought they were going to get it from that. Is Stevens going to do a blade job too? Because one guy is busted open from it. I don't think so. Continuity.
Dude, he hit him so freaking good.
Pussycat, they're chanting at Harris.
Oh, we should have known, dude. Isn't it Andrew Thomas? Oh, no, it's Rudy.
Fucking Rudy.
Come on, Rudy. He got taken out.
Dope.
By Chris Harris.
I love when referees just like forget where they are and then they just get beat up.
See, that one was pretty well done, though.
Yeah, it was all right. Douglas just wiped his face with blood and he was like, yo, dude, I'm pissed.
Oh, natural
disaster.
They almost exposed his butt cheeks because they couldn't get him up all the way because he's fucking huge. You can count to 10 right now.
Rudy's right next to them. What the hell? Gail Kim is taking off her shoes. I mean, she's probably going to do like a head scissor or hurricanrana thing. Oh,
it was supposed to be like a hurricanrana, but
yeah,
they sent she was a little, James Storm was a little far away, but it worked. She took him out still.
Yeah.
Oh no, they're not gonna give her the natural disaster, are they?
Well, I'm sure they won't have a hard time picking her up for it. Oh shit! Side boob alert. Are they? No, they're not.
Oh shit! It's Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, nut shot to Douglas. How did the referee not see that?
But
how did Rudy Charles not see a guy in all red come in? Oh!
Oh, baby.
Oh, that cut him up fucking legit, dude. He's bleeding already from the forehead.
Holy shit, dude. He just blasted a bottle over Chase Stevens' head.
Is that the first time they've used a bottle?
I was going to say, I think that's the first time we've seen them use the beer bottle. And America's Most Wanted, guys, is in fact your new NWA Tag Team
Stevens is
Champions.
busted open legit from that bottle. That was ridiculous. Yeah, he got him good.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm shocked that they did this right before the pay-per-view, but then of course they're gonna put it on the heel faction where now all the heel group has all the titles aside from the X division.
Exactly. We have a highlight package coming up, so let me try to give you this Jeff Jarrett interview because it's a little bit longer. He did a UK Sun interview where he says that he's reinventing wrestling, not TNA or the booking crew or Panda or Spike, but himself. And that's Alvarez kind of interpreting it. But when explaining the history of the promotion, he made it seem like everything that happened had been carefully planned from day one, as opposed to what it actually was, which is a series of changes that had been made to keep the place from going belly up. When asked what sort of things they had to compete with WWE, he said innovative matches like Ultimate X, which we're seeing a package of right now, and of course, King of the Mountain. They asked, are you negotiating with Chris Jericho, Brock Lesnar, Sting, or any other big name free agents? And he responded with, to my knowledge, Jericho is not available. But if we are negotiating with stars, it's in our best interest to keep them under wraps. And if you notice, he didn't say a thing about the other two names. And Alvarez says, I think that they're always sort of negotiating with Sting, or at least the door is open if he wants to come back. The Brock one is interesting because, make no mistake, they want Brock. Brock works for New Japan here at the time, and they obviously have some sort of relationship with New Japan since Liger's coming in. So it's kind of interesting. And finally, he was asked why he felt that he had to be champion on the first show, and they even compared him to Triple H, and he responded, this is a business, and when you really sit down and analyze a true businessman, he always does what's best for business. So yes, he considered himself a champion, the best move for business. They asked if he'd ever work for Vince McMahon again, and he said if it was good for business, then he would. Which in hindsight is kind of funny because he does. So, long form one there, but Bobby Roode just came out, and here comes Ron Killings for our next match.
Third. Okay. Bobby Roode has a couple of indie notes here.
Really?
Yeah, there was an Elite Eight tournament for PTW in Michigan, and Bobby Roode made it all the way to the finals. In the first round, he defeated Triton, our boy Triton, doing indies.
That's pretty impressive.
Semifinals, he defeated Chris Sabin, and then in the finals, Bobby Roode lost to Monty Brown. So Monty Brown won the PTW heavyweight title.
Wow. BG got the mic and he's doing his little hype up. The baddest trio this side of the Rio. He's the suntan Superman. Brother from another mother. Ronnie, the Truth Killings. And he does his weird dances.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Two girls in the front row were just doing hand signals and silly.
Killings just keeps dancing. Who's going to win? Bobby Roode or Ron Killings? I wonder if we're going to have a... Go ahead.
No, I think Bobby Roode's going to win.
Yeah, probably. I'm wondering what we're going to do for the tag team titles now on the Bound for Glory. How do you not have them defended on this big show?
I'm sure I would imagine rematch, right?
Well, yeah, but they just beat them down so bad. And if they're supposed to be, this is supposed to be the day after, are they really in the right state to go for a rematch here?
I'm sure they are. Do we really think that fans aren't aware that this was taped like 10 days ago?
Okay, even if it is, that's not how wrestling works, and you know it, so stop.
Well, I know I mean, I know that.
You know they're going to come out with bandages if they're on Bound for Glory around their head.
Okay, here's the thing. They better. If there's a rematch,
they will.
If the Naturals don't come out with bandages on, then that's a continuity problem.
They will. This is TNA. Okay. We have no continuity issues. Except for the fact that we may or may not be acting. Holy oh my god, I've never seen
Ron Kelly trying out for the X division?
That was it. Okay, so they put him in the Ultimate X not long ago. This is why. Right. That's why. He just did a huge sunset dive to the floor, taken out by Roode. I mean, I didn't know he could dive like that.
I didn't either.
Wow.
What the hell?
Another high-risk move, but that one did not work.
You know what? Kevin Nash is going to do another run-in, right? For the 6-man? He's got to.
You and me were saying last week that we were hoping he wasn't going to do that and maybe do an interview, like a pre-tape or something, but...
Well, he's got to appear. Yeah, he's got to appear, though. I mean, there's been very limited promotion for that specific match, aside from the Tito thing, too.
I don't want to see just another run-in, though.
Middle rope knee drop by Roode. And almost won the match, but Slick Johnson isn't going to count the 3. Oh, block, punch, block, punch.
Punch, punch.
X button, X button.
Just throwing him against the ropes, getting some knees to the midsection. Going back suplex.
Glorious. Oh, wait.
They're talking about the first 30 minutes being free. Well, Bob, I have some news for you. Oh, wait, here comes Nin Kip James.
You already know my name.
Apparently, for part of that 30-minute show, or part of the show, the first 30 minutes, they have added Sanjay Dutt versus Austin Aries versus Roderick Strong versus Alex Shelley.
Oh, wow.
Conan is with Apollo watching the match.
Foreshadowing.
Very interesting. And Kip James is talking to BG ringside. This is getting interesting.
Nice little I like that. Why is he hanging out with Apollo? But it makes sense. They're baby faces, so it's not like you'd think anything of that.
And he's a Puerto Rican star. It just makes sense.
Right.
Will we be seeing... Oh, wait a second. Here comes Conan.
Conan got out there so quick.
Because he's literally watching behind the curtain.
Spinning forearm. Now Ron's going to see this. Whoa, guys. No, come on. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Yeah, great. Here's a Bound for Glory match. Triple threat match.
At least the two of them fighting or something.
Has to be. Conan and Kip have to have a singles match at some point. That seems to be the main gripe here, is between them two.
Okay, so Conan is being taken away with security. Ron Killing's going for an axe kick here. Let's see. Is he going to hit it? He's dancing a little long. Okay, a lot. Okay, he stopped. The Canadians.
That was 8-1, and now here's Eric Young, and he's going to get thrown to the floor.
Whoa. Oh. Did you see that? The hockey stick slid in. Snapped over the back of Ron. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We are flying through today's show, dude.
No kidding.
24 minutes, 15 seconds. The third match just ended. We got a big main event still, but I'm assuming we have some pretty good segment stuff left, too.
Oof. Right over the back.
Look at that, baby!
Oh, tomorrow night, Bound for Glory. So it has to be the Saturday.
Well, that's probably not edited, but you're right. I'm hoping you're right. Well, Shane Douglas backstage with Jim Mitchell, Jeff Jarrett, Monty Brown, and Abyss. Oh, we were going to talk to Jeff Jarrett. Monty Brown just pulled the mic toward him. You talk to the alpha male first. He goes, I don't want to be in the match, but TNA's forcing me. You and I have a deal, and I haven't forgotten. I'm a man of second chances. Abyss wants a shot. Kevin Nash gets his shot tomorrow. Why don't you play your cards right tonight? Go out there and impress somebody. Mainly me. Playing my cards right, Jeff. I got a royal flush. He's going all in. Then later. Oh, shit. We might be seeing the title match between these guys coming up. Abyss, same deal goes for you. Okay. Abyss just looks at him.
I don't see Jeff Jarrett fucking giving Abyss a title shot.
No. I don't think so.
All right. Indie notes here. AJ Styles, he's got a few. I think I already did all those ones. Oh, maybe he does. Oh, wait. Yeah, he does. He's got
a little bit of football action here.
Yeah, we saw that before.
Yeah, they're showing it again.
October 14th, Kevin Steen retained the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla title against AJ Styles and Chris Bosh. No, not the basketball player. He is a wrestler. And then on October 15th, AJ Styles won the vacant CWE heavyweight title, defeating Jimmy Yang and Petey Williams. And that was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Monty Brown, I already said, well, he beat Bobby Roode in the finals, but in the first round in the semifinal of that Elite Eight tournament, Monty Brown defeated A1, and then he beat Petey Williams. So he basically defeated all of Team Canada to become the champion. And then lastly, Abyss. With these indie notes. Now, you mentioned the Chris Michaels thing from October 8th, the 57th anniversary show, no contest. Oh, yeah. But then on October 14th, Abyss defeated Jack Evans at Ring of Honor Enter the Dragon. The next night on the 15th, Abyss teamed up with Alex Shelley and Jimmy Rave as part of the Embassy to defeat Generation Next, which is Austin Aries, Jack Evans, and Roderick Strong in a no disqualification match at Ring of Honor's Buffalo Stampede in Buffalo, New York. And then lastly here on October 20th, Middletown, Ohio, Abyss retained the BPW heavyweight title by defeating Nigel McGuinness. And that is your indie notes for the Go Home show before Bound for Glory.
Wow. Very good. I have a very small note about a radio interview that Jim Mitchell did, where he said that he was happier with his place in the business now than he has ever been. And he also notes that when he saw Abyss for the first time, he knew that he wanted to manage him. And I got to say, it is the perfect pairing, is it not?
Right. And then that would have been late 03, right?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
And it took this long for there to be a partnership between them?
I know. Here comes Jeff Hardy in blue lights. And I got one other note. Also, a quick side note about the Jim Mitchell interview. He talks about a lot more stuff, including the fact that Vince Russo invited him to do that wrestling show inside of a church. And he thought that was pretty funny because it's James Mitchell.
Because the devil?
Because he's literally the devil.
Did he do it?
Yeah, I think he did.
He better have. I mean, that's great character work there.
And here comes Lance Hoyt wearing his pay-per-view white gear.
Now, let me tell you, okay, and this is no disrespect to Lance Hoyt, but if there was ever an instance of like one person probably doesn't belong, it's Lance Hoyt.
He's hot in the Impact Zone, though, man.
He's hot in the Impact Zone, yes, but if they lose this match, Hoyt's taking the pin.
Yeah. Probably.
But so I'm not knocking. I'm just saying it's also a good, like, way to elevate him if you want to ever do it properly.
Right.
And working with these names, it's only going to be good for him.
Here comes AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. My final note is actually a note of Sanjay Dutt speaking on the India tour that he went on with Shark Boy. He says, quote, "It was out of control almost every night. The events were in theaters and that held around 2,000 people. So you have 2,000 people crammed in there with another 1,000 or so outside trying to get in. Police were everywhere to keep security. One night it got really out of hand in the city, and apparently people outside who couldn't get in tried to rush the gate, and the cops had to step in. Fights broke out, and it got pretty chaotic. Every night was an adventure, especially getting into the venue and leaving. We had police escorts to get us from one location to another. So apparently this tour in India was pretty wild.
Rocking King.
And Lance Hoyt and Abyss are starting us off. TNA goes, normally we give you 3-hour pay-per-views, but we just got too much to do. So that's why we're doing 3.5, and we're giving you the first 30 minutes for free. Is that not the most wrestling gimmick ever? Like, you guys can get the first 30 minutes of the show free, even though we do that every single time.
That's exactly what it is.
It's so funny.
Also, I hated Lance Hoyt's punches right there because he's blatantly slapping his fucking leg.
Oh, see, I didn't notice.
You didn't notice that?
I'll try to look again when he does it again.
I hope he doesn't throw another punch this match because that was bad.
This wantingly tags in Monty Brown. So he's going after Jeff Hardy now, who's the legal man on the other team. I got that Jeff Hardy shirt. Did I ever tell you that?
I didn't know that.
I do. I got it signed.
When did you get it signed?
I was a child. I met him at a Kia dealership. Monty Brown is chucking Jeff Hardy around the ring. Hardy in no man's land. Nice drop kick by Jeff Jarrett.
Victory Road main event repeat.
That's right. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match on Rampage.
Forget that.
Abyss going after Hardy now in the corner. A scoop and a slam by Abyss. Coming off the rope. There's no chair to go in his crotch, but that doesn't matter because Jeff Hardy moves. Oh. AJ Styles is now going after Abyss. These guys have had some great matches in the past. Oh, going for a dropkick, lands on his feet, though. And then Abyss comes at him, and he hits another one. Pele kick to Jarrett. Holy shit, dude, on fire. The impact zone is rocked. Hardy takes out Monty Brown. 3 out of 4 Monsters Ball contenders are in this match here. Does Hoyt have a spot on the card? He's the only one that kind of...
Isn't he fighting Monty Brown?
Oh, wait, yeah, we did know that last week. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, so I just lied. Monty Brown's not in the Monster. There's 2 Monster Ball guys. Because it's Rhino. Rhino and Sabu. My bad. Monty Brown was in the other one. I got confused.
I thought Rhino was going to be in this match.
See, that's like the... previously recorded. See, that's the part that's like weird to me.
Oh, you know what? I bet you it is the Monday show. Because when it says previous recorded, and they're mentioning tomorrow for Sunday. So why. Monday, they have to probably be like previously recorded.
So this version aired
after Bound for
Glory.
Yeah. I would have been pissed if we were watching the show and they like put in Bound for Glory highlights. I feel like, oh, fuck.
That would be nuts.
No.
Dude. Oh, Styles got launched and punched Monty Brown off the apron. Going for a Styles clash on Abyss, but here comes Jarrett from behind. Going for the stroke now. Nope. Look at the mat covered in the Natural's blood, dude.
Well, it's Natural's blood and Jeff Hardy's red paint.
Oh, yeah.
Because before it was like one little thing of blood, and now it's like all over the place.
No, you're right. You're right. Jarrett just took a nasty little bump and Styles like swept his leg. I've never seen Jarrett fall like that before.
Jarrett's probably, what? Cassie Riley's here?
They said he's here? Oh. Wait, he's got a message. It's from Raven. He's not in attendance tonight. But he will be in the building at Bound for Glory. Nevermore, he says. Interesting.
Yeah. What does that mean? Raven will be at Bound for Glory. But he's not in a match, technically.
It is a little disappointing that Raven's not wrestling on Bound for Glory, though.
That we know of.
That we know of. You're right. You're right.
It could be an unadvertised match.
You're right. We just crossed the 36-minute mark. So we are making our way to the end of this go-home show. It's been pretty good.
I would say this has been a very good go-home show.
Abyss is in with Styles again now. Monty Brown just held his gut so Abyss could strike him on the way in.
Yeah, this has got to give Daniels a bit of an advantage. If Abyss is,
Oh, that's a good point.
By, Abyss.
The day before, yeah. Oh, big splash by Abyss.
I always
And
like
that's
how
right.
Abyss like runs in like a spot and then does it. It just
Yeah.
looks silly. Hyping himself up like I can do it.
Ah. Jarrett going after Styles now, giving him a couple slaps, and now Styles is chopping him, hitting him in the head, a hit in the head, an Irish whip. Jarrett counters the Irish whip. Here comes Styles, ducks the clothesline off the ropes, comes back, double crossbody. It's a double down. Put that on your bingo spot for your Jeff Jarrett match, boys. And he's calling spots.
I'm surprised we haven't brawled in the crowd.
I'm actually really surprised with this many guys in the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never too late. They could just break down and then go brawl in the crowd.
Well, we need...
Oh, you know what? If Kevin Nash comes running out, they're going to brawl in the crowd.
Right. He just tagged in both of them, and now Monty and Abyss are arguing as if they didn't just see that both of them got tagged in at the same time.
That's wrestling, man.
They both double clothesline, but Styles ducks. He goes for a springboard crossbody, but is caught. He tags in both Hardy and Hoyt.
There's no such thing as a double tag there.
Yeah, but
Andrew
look,
Thomas trying to stop them both and then fails miserably.
he kind of let Hardy pass, so Lance Hoyt is no longer legal.
Look at Hoyt's punches, man.
See, I wasn't.
He keeps slapping his fucking thigh. It is driving me nuts.
Come on, do another one, Hoyt. Oh no, black hole slam. He ain't doing no more punches.
No. Is that it?
Nope. Hardy broke it up. He was beating up Monty Brown in the corner, waiting for that one. Twist of fate to Abyss. Nice. Swanton. And he hits it. No, Monty Brown breaks it up.
I'm waiting for Hoyt to throw another punch.
Oh, he's just doing backbreakers over and over.
Yeah, too quick backbreakers on the phone. Are you not entertained? Big boot by Hoyt. Oh, are we in the crowd? No, not yet.
No, we weren't. Jarrett came in. I just got scared for a second that we were knocking Hoyt over here, that he was going to be the one to take the pin, and I thought he was about to get it. Goes for a big boot on Jarrett, but he slips out. Abyss sweeps the feet, pulls Hoyt out of the ring. Springboard crossbody by AJ Styles, but Jarrett counters. He rolls through, goes for the figure four, but Styles pops up Enziguri. Oh, a little suplex neckbreaker combo there by Styles. Is he going? The spiral tap?
He's signaling for or something.
But James Mitchell's distracting the ref, and here is Christopher Daniels, who slips him right off the rope.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You see what's happening here.
Really?
Jarrett twists the arm real fucking slow. Goes for the stroke and pounds on AJ Styles.
God, AJ just fucking hit the middle rope like neck.
Yeah. And he stole the pin from... Well, Jarrett looks pretty happy about that, though, actually. Monty Brown pinned Styles to get his team the win. Jarrett, by the way, sidestep. That's how he hit AJ Styles with the pounce. I gotta say, dude, that was a very well done 6-man tag match. Because those can be, like, brutal. And that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Hoyt goes after Monty Brown here after they raise their arms for about 2 seconds.
Come on, Kevin Nash.
Everyone's going after... Yeah, it's going to be Kevin Nash. Everyone's fighting Styles now. Jeff Hardy goes after Jarrett, but Jarrett just throws him out. Oh, the Koji clutch by Daniels. Oh, there's Sabu. Take out Abyss. See, we're getting the through people here.
So then Rhino's going to come out.
And here's Rhino. If they're going to waste an appearance on Kevin Nash for 5 seconds, that's so lame, though.
It's so TNA.
Ooh, suicide dive, and I think Sabu kind of didn't really get caught there, and he overjumped.
Yeah.
Look at
I know, dude, 20 seconds left of the show, and they fucking use him for this.
It's Big Sexy!
Why is Jarrett surprised? Like, dude, you're fighting him tomorrow.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Oh!
They don't even. Just
No.
$5,000. See you later. Wow.
Dude.
That's awesome.
That really just happened, huh?
I mean, of course it did.
He was walking out, and they go, here's the copyright.
Tune in tomorrow for Bound for Glory to see him actually wrestle or do anything physical.
Now, just for fun, let me, as we're wrapping up, I can see if, because we don't usually reread the notes anyways, I can see if there's a note about what happened after it went off the air. Went after Jarrett and the show ended. No, yeah, nothing happened.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything from the actual, like, write-up of the show.
Right.
For who was there.
Fantastic. All right. Good show here.
Yeah, I agree. It was good.
A 41-minute show or whatever. That brings us now to tomorrow's show, which is going to be Bound for Glory. Now, I'll just do a quick rundown of what has been officially announced. And then I guess I'm just going to say that we're going to get AMW Naturals at Bound for Glory. I would have to think that, but I'm not going to say that as part of my rundown.
I think you're probably right, but I don't think we actually know, so.
Yeah. So Samoa Joe is scheduled to wrestle Jushin Thunder Liger. Monty Brown and Lance Hoyt will be going at it in singles action. There will be a number one contender for the TNA X Division Championship Ultimate X match, which will be between Petey Williams, Matt Bentley, and Chris Sabin. And we also have a 4-way Monsters Ball match between Sabu, Rhino, Jeff Hardy, and Abyss. And of course, the X Division 30-minute Iron Man match, Part 2, AJ Styles defending against Christopher Daniels. And in the main event, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship with the special referee, Tito Ortiz. Jeff Jarrett is defending against Big Sexy Kevin Nash. That is the rundown that has been officially announced for Bound for Glory. And then if anything is added, I'm sure we will know in the technically free half hour of the show, which is also known as a pre-show.
Which I guess it shouldn't be a surprise if we have that. I haven't checked if we have that version, but I'm assuming we probably do.
I would imagine. So, all right. Well, Bound for Glory is the next show. Dallas, you got anything else?
No, man. Send us home because we've been waiting for Bound for Glory for But 2 years.
I feel like, and now here's the thing, Bound for Glory 2005, I don't know if I've ever seen the full show.
Really, I see. I feel like this one I might have.
I don't think I have. It looks on paper to be fucking great, so I am really looking forward to it, and I hope you guys join us tomorrow for Bound for Glory. So until then, for Dallas Gridley, I am Bob Colling Jr., and this has been the TNA Cross the Line podcast.